You are welcome to today's free online literature class, Literature Hub 247. This video is about a non-African prose that we have been discussing for some time now. The title is Part of Lucas, written by Susanne Bellefeuille. This is chapter 34 of the novel. We've earlier discussed the plot summary as well as chapters 1 to 33 on this platform. You can request for the link to the previous videos on this novel through the comment section and it will be sent to you. Part of Lucas, chapter 34. In the last chapter, that is chapter 33, we did record some tragic events. There was the death of John, Lucas' father, who the doctor said that his lung collapsed. We also recorded the death of Richard, who died of cancer. Let's see what happens in chapter 34. Lucas is still by Lucy's bed in the hospital. He remembers the death of Richard and says he can't afford to lose another child. He's determined to give what it takes to change the situation as Lucy clings to life. Remember that Lucas is still with his daughter in the hospital. He hears the voices of Lucy's children coming to see their mother. He takes a deep breath as he feels pain again. He still holds on to Lucy's hand and feels a sign of life in her as she squeezes his hand. That is Lucy squeezing Lucas' hand there. Lucas is happy with Lucy's response and asks her to squeeze it again, and he will continue with the story. He feels another squeeze again and interprets it as Lucy communicating with him. He shows that she has been listening to the story. Remember that Lucas is narrating his life history to his daughter, Lucy. He reminds Lucy of Richard's death and its effect on him and her mother. He kisses her hand and continues the story. Lucas and Isabel sometimes talk about Richard being a funny character and how he made them laugh several times. Remember, Richard is dead in the last chapter. Lucas remembers when Richard and Steve recorded a humorous song about their old neighbor friends. Lucas tries to put himself together after those incidents. He appreciates God for his lovely family and their importance in his life. Isabel cares for Paige while Jessie goes to work, and they are inseparable. Lucas loves Isabel and Paige's relationship. Jessie finds a new boyfriend when Paige is 2.5 years. Jessie finds a new boyfriend when Paige is 2.5 years old. Lucas and Isabel are happy for her, but the boy is not responsible. He's jobless and drives Jessie's car around when she goes to work. One day, he drives recklessly and endangers the children in the yard. Lucas approaches him gently and tells him not to drive like that again because the children are playing around. The boy repeats the same thing 2 days later. This infuriates Lucas for the first time, and he tells him not to drive at all if he can't drive sensibly. The boy then concocted a story about Lucas sending him away from the house. Jessie is annoyed when she hears this, so she packs her belongings, sets the mobile home, and goes away with her boyfriend and Paige. This singular heart takes a toll on Isabel, and she goes into depression again. She begins to gain weight because she eases her pains with food. She continues taking food to ease her pains. So by that, she's gaining weight. She now looks like France, her sister, and she becomes obese. She cries all the time because of the health challenges she has. Lucas takes her on a trip to Florida to comfort her. But once they are back home, she becomes depressed again. The Clarkson family keeps on growing year after year. Lucy has another baby boy named Ryan. Johnny gets married after days, followed by Steve, and then Thomas. Lucas and Isabel love this development in the family. Elizabeth, Lucas' mother's health is deteriorating, showing signs of Alzheimer's disease. Isabel, battling with her health, also cares for Elizabeth. Lucas' situation is becoming unbearable because he spends more time in the hospital than at home now. If it's not Isabel, it will be Elizabeth. Elizabeth is in the hospital until they find a nursing home for her. The ailment worsens as she can't remember her children or her name. She sits without uttering a word whenever they visit her. Isabel puts her health issue aside to care for Elizabeth. 2 years later, Elizabeth died on August 17, 1990, at the nursing home in the presence of her children. Lucas is demoralized by the death of his mother because she meant so much to him since he was young. Proper arrangements are made for Elizabeth's funeral by her children. Isabel comforts Lucas as he breaks down crying. Isabel now understands the burden of pain and suffering Lucas has been carrying without complaining. Lucas stops crying and apologizes to Isabel for breaking down. Isabel says he has the right to break down because he has been carrying the heavy burdens of the family without complaining. The two of them again express their love for each other, hugging and kissing passionately. Isabel observes herself after all the unfortunate experience they have had. She is now determined to take care of her health. She watches her diet by following the tips she learned about dieting. After her months, she is doing well with her health. Lucas commends her for the new physique and says she should keep it up. He promises her a surprise package for her birthday the following day. Isabel wishes to know his plan for her. Lucas explains that the children plan to appreciate her as she turns 50. Isabel insists on knowing the plan, but Lucas keeps it away from her. The following day, Lucas tells Isabel to get set to go out. He's amazed when Isabel comes out of the room dressed gorgeously. He just tells her to follow him, that she will love it. Lucas takes her to Steve's house and everything is quiet when they arrive. He tells her to pause at the driveway for the grandkids to wish her happy birthday before they go out to the town. Lucas opens the passenger door for Isabel as he normally does. He knocks on the door and Steve ushers them in. The children run to her and wish her a happy birthday. The surprise comes when Isabel is invited to the backyard where the party is being held, with many people in attendance. Everybody wishes her a happy birthday, and Lucas brings a beautiful birthday cake decorated with pink roses, Isabel's favorite color, and flowers. Isabel is surprised and is short of words. Tears of joy roll down her cheeks, and Lucas wishes her a happy 50th birthday and kisses her. Isabel thanks her children for the wonderful birthday party. She appreciates everybody present and expresses her gratitude to Lucas for the party and for always being there for her. A few years later, in 1993, Isabel is back to her normal stature and loves it. Lucas is also surprised that Isabel is now fit. They take trips to Florida every year with James and Deborah. Lucas bought a Winnebago to travel across Canada. He loves stopping in Alberta to see where Steve lived before his death. Isabel loves the mountain view of British Columbia and the friendliness of the people. She also admires Vancouver Island and its natural beauty. As they travel, they enjoy their lives to the fullest. One night, Isabel feels chest pain and goes to bed early. Because of the pain, she can't sleep throughout the night. The following morning, she tells Lucas that she is fine, and Lucas goes to work. Later that morning, Amy, Isabel's daughter-in-law, comes to help her with her flower garden. Isabel complains to Amy that she's feeling chest pain and seeks to catch her breath. Some minutes later, she continued gardening again. Amy asked if she would go to the hospital, and she said no. When Lucas returns from work, he's happy to see Isabel preparing their favorite salon. Steak with baked potatoes and sour cream. Isabel tells Lucas to wash up because supper is ready to be served. Lucas and Isabel are planning their next trip, and Lucas wants to take her to Quebec City, where she was born. Isabel is excited to hear this because she will have the opportunity to see her family members there. After supper, they decide to go to bed early. Lucas will have to haul a load of pulp to Dumpster in Cornwall the following morning. He will afterward go back to the bush. Isabel is disturbed again by a severe chest pain that wakes Lucas up. She hardly breathes, and Lucas rushes her to the hospital immediately. The nurses immediately attend to her and wheel her away while Lucas sits in the emergency waiting room. A doctor introduces himself as Dr. Lin and introduces Nurse Fox as the nurse who will be caring for Isabel. He explains further that Isabel had a mild heart attack and she's stable but resting. In response to Lucas' question, the doctor replies that Isabel is doing well but has to stay overnight for observation. Lucas thanks the doctor and wipes away tears from his face because he's surprised by the news. He requests to see Isabel, and the doctor says the nurse will take him to her room, but he should not forget that she needs to rest. Lucas is happy that Isabel is in a stable condition, and the nurse advises him to go home and sleep. Something happened here. The date is June 10, 1993. When he arrives home, he goes straight to sleep. After about an hour, Nurse Fox calls and tells him to come to the hospital immediately because Isabel is very ill. Lucas rushes out of the house and drives to the hospital immediately. He remembers their time together driving in his two-bay car as if it were just yesterday. When he reaches the hospital, he rushes to the nurse's station and asks to see his wife. A nurse at the station informs him that Isabel had a major heart attack and died. Lucas is rudely shocked to hear about Isabel's death. He says he just left the place a few hours ago and that's just 53. He laments what he can do without Isabel. They are used to each other. Lucas dashes into the room and sees no sign of a heart monitor or intravenous in Isabel's hand. Nurse Fox is already disconnecting all the machines around her. Nurse Fox expresses her sympathy for Lucas and asks if there's anything they can do for him. Lucas fixes his eyes on Isabel but can't believe what happened. He asks himself why it happened and starts crying uncontrollably. He holds her hand and kisses her forehead. The nurses leave him in the room with Isabel. The loss is too much for him to bear. He now realizes that his love for Isabel grows stronger. Lucas leaves for the nurse's station to call the children and informs them that their mother just died of a heart attack. He returns to Isabel's hospital room, waiting for the children. Lucas suddenly notices a monarch butterfly flying outside the hospital window, like the one he saw during Richard's funeral. He also sees a rose-breasted grosbeak bird flying around and perching on the windowsill for some seconds. The butterfly and the bird then fly away together toward the sky. The children arrive at the hospital in shock. They stand silently beside her to bid her goodbye, that is, to bid their mother goodbye. Lucas tells his children about the butterfly and the bird he saw and how they flew away together. Please, if you are just joining this platform, try and click on the subscribe button so that you'll be part of this class, and click on the bell icon so that you'll be notified whenever any video is produced. Like this video, you are free to share it on any social media platform. If you have any question or comment, send it through the comment section. Try and introduce your friends and colleagues to this platform. Teachers in the house, let your students know about this platform, because it's going to be of help for them also. Let them also benefit from this class. Thank you, and God bless you for your time. Let's meet in the next class.